What's up, everybody? The high school football regular season is winding down, and we have some big games to look forward to tonight. Hold on to your seats for that. And the Pensacola International Airport received a federal grant. Hear how it will be used. That should be very exciting for people in Pensacola. Plus, the latest on the SpaceX astronauts who landed in Pensacola this morning. Buckle up, it's time for News 5 Now.
This is News 5 Now, streaming live to your neighborhood and around the world.
Hey everybody, internet family, it's Akievia McFarland here. It's Friday and we are doing News 5 Now. Every day we get together at 5:30 to talk about the big stories that we're following throughout the day, and we also share your responses to our question of the day, and we see how you voted in our Facebook poll. It's always a good time, and I'm looking forward to another party together right now. So we're going to kick things off. You know what's happening with the big stories that we're following for you right now. Let's go ahead and get into it with number 5. You can head to Alberta for the community's biannual German Sausage Festival. Now, this is the event that begins at 8 o'clock tomorrow morning at the town's park. Organizers say thousands of pounds of sausage will be served this weekend, and thousands of people are expected to attend. The festival raises money for the volunteer fire department for new equipment, fuel, and other department expenses. Roughly $40,000 is raised every March and October. So the biannual German Sausage Festival, Saturday morning, 8 o'clock. Do not miss it. You should love it. Let's go ahead and get into number 4. The Yellow Peril has a permanent home in Foley. The N3N biplane was built in 1941 and has been absent from the skies for decades. The World War II era biplane arrived in Foley Thursday. Foley is the only city in Alabama designated as a World War II heritage site. Bet you didn't know that. Well, if you didn't know, now you know. City officials are planning to build a museum to honor the area's connection to the military. Foley's mayor, Ralph Helmick, says they are looking to collect planes that trained at barren fields such as T-28s, Texans, and T-34s. Look at that. That's a nice plane right there. Number 3, week 10 of the high school football season is here. As the regular season winds down, local teams are looking to punch their ticket to the playoffs. Our game of the week features a matchup between T.R. Miller and Bayside Academy. Be sure to tune in to fifth quarter on WKRG at 10 o'clock tonight. And right here on Facebook, we'll have fifth quarter extra with sports director Simone Eli and Gerhard Mathangani. Number 2, Pensacola International Airport is getting a $4 million grant from the Federal Aviation Administration. The money will help pay for the expansion of the airport's terminal to handle the increasing number of passengers. You know, with more people, that means more growth. So you gotta make room for all that's coming. The grant is part of the FAA's bipartisan infrastructure law airport terminal program. Airport officials plan to use the money to offer a new terminal with 5 gates, enhanced amenities, improved accessibility, and a reconfigured and expanded TSA checkpoint. So if you're a regular through Pensacola International, I mean, this should be exactly what you want. I mean, $4 million going towards the expansion of that place. So that's pretty cool right there. Number 1, a SpaceX astronaut remains at Sacred Heart Hospital after splashing down in Pensacola Friday morning. NASA officials say the splashdown was safe, but one astronaut experienced a medical issue after landing. The astronaut is in stable condition, we're told, and is under observation as a precautionary measure. The other 3 astronauts on the voyage have returned to NASA's Johnson Space Center in Houston, and they are doing well from what we understand. So those are the big stories that we're following for you right now. And of course, stick with WKRG throughout the evening. If anything else big pops up, you'll know it right here. But now it's time for us to go ahead and get into that question of the day and share your answers. It's time. And this one is another good one. This is a very controversial, very hot subject right now. The Menendez brothers could go free after all these years. And we want to hear your thoughts about that. So we are here. I have not gone through these, y'all. So we're going to see what we have to say. All right, we're going to start off the top with Destiny Stone. Given that their abuse is true, they served their time and deserve to be free. Two people agree with Destiny on that. All right, then we have Sharon Pass Shuford, as someone else said, quote, if they were Menendez sisters, they would not be there, end quote. And as you can see, a lot of reactions there as well. People seem to agree with that. And James Patterson also chiming in, our justice system is a joke, not really feeling how things are going. Moving on, let's go ahead and see what else is being said. Tommy Watts second, take a lesson from Norway and other countries who are much more successful about these things. No, they didn't deserve life if a portion of their claims of abuse is true, and they need to go after the judge who didn't allow their testimony to this end. All right, so a lot of people seem to think that, yeah, they've served their time, and looks like, their time should be up for a large majority of folks. Grace Beth McMahon says she loves this. She says Eric and Lyle grew into their looks. Not really sure what that has to do with anything, but anyway, so let's move on. Let's see what else we're saying. We're just going to kind of scroll through, see if we can see anybody who might have something different to chime in here. Yeah, it's looking like overwhelmingly, it looks like a lot of people are saying they've done their time. Go ahead and free those guys. Larry J. Freeman says God is the final judge. Let him handle it, whichever way it needs to be handled. So there you go. That's kind of the overall summation of what we're saying. It looks like the vast majority of you are like, they served their time, let them go. Well, thank you all for giving us your answers and giving us your responses to that question of the day. But now we're switching gears because we got to get into the Facebook poll. Y'all knew it was coming. Facebook poll. And this is what we want to know. The Pritchard Water Tower could be torn down. We want to know, would you be sad if it's gone? If you couldn't drive through Pritchard and see the water tower anymore, is that going to make you boo-hoo a bit? And 60% of you say yes, while 40% of you say no. Almost completely split decision there, right down the middle, but just slightly more of you are saying you would be sad, and I can understand that. I mean, if you're a person who grew up in Pritchard and you're a regular on the Gulf Coast and you see it often, it's a landmark for you, and you don't want to just see it demolished and torn down. Meanwhile, those of you who say no, it's just like, it's just a tower, and maybe if they tear it down, maybe something new could come. Who knows? So thank you for chiming in with your answers to that Facebook poll. And, it's always very, very interesting to see what you all have to say. But we're not done yet. We have more work to do. Here's what I need you to do next. Go over to Facebook, like the WKRG page, answer our next question of the day. Here it is. World Series tickets cost $1,700+. How much would you spend on a big game? Now listen, if you're a World Series fan, that might actually be worth it. I was actually talking to a very special person not too long ago about how some tickets at WrestleMania or something are going to be like $1,800 starting off. And I know some pretty big wrestling fans out there who would definitely spend that buck for that. So maybe $1,700 is something someone's willing to spend. But go ahead and make sure you answer those questions, because I want to see what you have to say. But also go ahead and vote on our next Facebook poll. And for that, we want to know, are you stressed or excited about the upcoming presidential election that is on November 5th? We're just a couple of weeks away. And for a lot of people, it can be a very stressful time period, but it can also be a very exciting and amped time because everyone gets an opportunity to use their voice to make a change, however they want to make it in our country. So I can see it going either way. Stressed, excited, go ahead, chime in, and let us know. We'll be right back here on Monday to give you those results of the question of the day and the poll. So make sure you chime in. You have all weekend to do it, guys. No excuses. Go ahead and get those answers in. Very eager to see what you have to say. But in the meantime, you know what to do. We want you to go ahead and tune in on CBS, catch the rest of the evening news with Nora O'Donnell, and that way come 6 o'clock, you'll be right where you need to be. on CBS for WKRG News 5 at 6, and you'll get Peter Albrecht and Roseanne Haven bringing you the local news. Chief Meteorologist Ed Bloodsworth, of course, bringing you that forecast, and we're still dealing with some dry conditions, so you'll want to see what he has to say. And of course, Sports Director Simone Eli coming in hot with all those big games that are going on tonight. Trust me, you don't want to miss News 5 at 6. So once again, you guys, Internet family, thank you so much for joining us for News 5 Now. It's always a pleasure. Catch you next time.